All right, number 8. Function, no, explain. So we need to decide if this is a function. If it's not, we need to explain why. If it is, we have some more stuff to do. So let's go ahead and first off, let's just decide if this is a function or not. This is y equals, oh my goodness. Everything's falling off the walls. This is an equation, y equals 3x. This is crazy. Everyone watch out. Y equals 3x. You may recognize this as a proportion or a proportional relationship. It's in the form y equals kx, and k here is 3. So for whatever value x is, y is 3 times larger than that. So we'd have some points. Let's say if x equals 1, y equals 3 times 1 is 3, x equals 2, y equals, well, 3 times 2 is 6. If x equals 0, y equals, oh my goodness. All right, great. Y equals 0 times 3 is 0. This is proportional because this goes through the point 0, 0. And I'm going to kind of sketch out a graph here. We'll have a point at 0, 0 because it's proportional, and we found out 0, 0. If x is 0, y is also 0. If x is 1, y is 3. So I'm just going to kind of estimate. That's maybe about right here. If x is 2, y is 6. So I'm just going to kind of estimate, put it right here. Now this will continue. We could say 3 would be 9. -1 would be -3. -2 would be -6. And you probably can recognize that this is going to be a line. So that's the line for y equals 3x. Now we need to talk about what a function is. Function. The definition of a function says each value of x has only one y. So for example, right here, if y equals 3x, we can see that this actually does only have one y. I mean, no matter what, whatever we put here, we don't get more than one answer. Okay, we put in 2, we only got 6. We didn't get 6 and 4. There's no possible value for x, which would be more than one value of y. And another way we can test this, I'm going to grab another color here. Another way we can test this is if we have a graph, we can do the vertical line test, where we're going to just draw vertical lines through our graph. And if it ever hits more than one spot on our black line, if this line were to hit this more than once, we'd have a problem. An example would be this orange line right here that looks like a little squiggly. Okay. We can see right here, if we look at this first line that I drew, we cross 1, 2, 3, 4 times. That's big time. No, not allowed to have 4 crosses. But if we look at our black line that we drew originally, this green line only crosses it once. Green line only crosses it once. And if it's always once, then this is a function. So, is this a function? Yes. Is it linear or nonlinear? Well, we drew it and it was a line, so it is linear. If linear, find the rate of change and initial value. The rate of change is the same thing as slope. Okay, and on this one, our slope is the y change. So it's the up or down over the x change, left or right. Okay, so let's look at this. We're starting at 0, 0. We're going up 1, 2, 3 over 1, up 1, 2, 3 over 1, up 1, 2, 3 over 1. So the y change here is always up 3. It's positive because it goes up on our graph on the y. Up is always positive. And our x change, we're always going to the right 1. And again, to the right is positive. So this is our rate of change. Our rate of change is 3. I just rewrote that as just 3 because it's 3 over 1. It's the same thing. And the initial value, let's talk about initial value. also known as the y-intercept. Okay, this is what we're working with in Module 4 here. We just started this one today and Tuesday. So initial value, that's where we're crossing our y-axis. In this case is 0. Okay, all proportional relationships, the initial value is 0. Okay, because it goes through 0, 0. If this said maybe plus 3, well, now our initial value is 3. That would be our b, because these are in y equals mx plus b. That would be our b, which would be our initial value. But in this case, we don't have one. It's technically plus 0. Okay, so it's 3x plus 0, our initial value then is therefore 0. So let's double check, make sure we answered all this. Is it a function? No, or explain yes. Yes, it is. Is it linear? Yes, it's linear. If it's linear, find the rate of change. We found it was 3. We went up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. And their initial value was 0.